Clash.
Yes.
Now, they said they was going to be here at SmackDown, right?
WWE is currently facing a serious challenge, and it goes beyond the usual in-ring drama and scripted storylines. The situation revolves around Jade Cargill, the reigning WWE Women's Tag Team Champion, who is dealing with an injury that has forced her to be pulled from several major storylines. The company's plans have been significantly disrupted, and the future of the women's division now hinges on how WWE handles Jade's absence. This issue extends beyond her on-screen persona and touches on broader concerns, such as how WWE will manage the Women's Tag Team Championships and adapt their plans in the face of an unexpected setback. It all began on a recent episode of SmackDown, where WWE aired a dramatic angle designed to cover up a real-life situation involving Jade Cargill. In the segment, Jade was viciously attacked and left unconscious on top of a car. The assailant's identity was shrouded in mystery, leaving fans stunned and intrigued by what they had just witnessed. While this storyline initially appeared to be just another plot twist, it soon became clear that it was actually designed to cover up a far more serious issue: the nature of Jade's injury, which forced WWE to adjust its plans accordingly. The angle provided a convenient narrative reason for her sudden removal from ongoing storylines, allowing the company to manage the real-life situation without drawing attention to it too early. Jade Cargill had been slated for major storylines, including a spot in the Women's War Games match at Survivor Series, a key event in WWE's calendar. She was expected to play a pivotal role in Team Rhea Ripley, taking on Team Liv Morgan in a highly anticipated clash. Additionally, Jade was a favorite to win the United States Women's Championship tournament, which was set to culminate in a major showdown on December 14th at the Saturday night main event. The decision to remove Jade from these high-profile events has left WWE scrambling to reshape its storylines and figure out how to maintain momentum in the women's division. The news of Jade's injury was first reported by Dave Meltzer of the Wrestling Observer, who confirmed that her removal from storylines was not part of a planned angle. This revelation added a layer of seriousness to the situation, with fans now wondering about the exact nature of the injury. WWE officials have remained tight-lipped about the specifics of Jade's condition, fueling speculation. Some rumors have suggested that Jade may be dealing with a neck injury, while others have pointed to a possible MCL, medial collateral ligament injury. Whatever the true nature of her injury, one thing is certain: Jade will be sidelined for at least 3 months, and possibly longer, leaving WWE with several major questions to address. The most pressing of these questions revolves around the status of the Women's Tag Team Championships, a title that Jade currently holds alongside Bianca Belair. The two women have formed a successful partnership, with Jade's dominant in-ring style complementing Belair's athleticism and charisma. Together, they have carried the Women's Tag Team Championships, but now WWE must figure out what to do in the wake of Jade's injury. The situation is complicated by the fact that, unlike some other titles, the Women's Tag Team Championships have not been well established in WWE's hierarchy, and Jade's absence could further harm the credibility of the division. WWE faced a similar dilemma earlier this year when Rhea Ripley suffered a shoulder injury and was forced to take time off. WWE had no choice but to strip Ripley of the Women's World Championship, which was a significant blow to the division. Now, with Jade in a similar situation, WWE is left with two options. The first and most straightforward option would be to strip Jade and Bianca of the Women's Tag Team Championships. This would be a clean break, allowing WWE to move on and crown new champions in the interim. However, this approach could hurt the credibility of the women's tag team division, which has already struggled to maintain consistent storylines and viewer interest. Losing Jade and Belair as champions would leave a significant void, and the titles could risk becoming an afterthought. The second, and perhaps more viable option, would be to keep the titles active during Jade's recovery. WWE could theoretically put the titles on ice, allowing Belair to continue defending them with a temporary partner. This could mean bringing in a new talent to team with Belair, or perhaps utilizing an existing wrestler like Naomi, who has been involved with Rhea Ripley's faction in recent weeks. This would allow the titles to remain relevant while Jade is sidelined. Keeping the titles in play would also help maintain the integrity of the division and ensure that the Women's Tag Team Championships continue to feel like a prestigious and competitive prize. This solution would require creative booking, but it is a more flexible option that would keep the division alive while also keeping the spotlight on Belair and the eventual return of Jade. The latter option seems the more likely route for WWE, especially considering that Jade is one of the company's top rising stars. WWE would likely want to keep her in the spotlight, even if she is not physically able to compete. This would also give the company a chance to explore new pairing dynamics in the meantime, without having to strip Jade and Belair of the titles outright. This would maintain the integrity of the champions and help avoid any disruption to the ongoing storylines in the women's division. However, whatever WWE chooses to do, one thing is clear. There's a real need to keep the women's tag team championships relevant. The titles were only introduced a few years ago, and while some of the matches have been entertaining, the division has never really had a consistent focus. At times it feels like the women's tag team championships are an afterthought compared to the singles titles, and Jade's injury could exacerbate this issue if the division loses its top pair. With Belair potentially being thrust into a singles role while her tag partner is on the shelf, the question becomes how WWE will keep the division strong and maintain interest in the titles. Beyond the tag team championships, Jade's injury has also disrupted her involvement in the United States Women's Championship tournament, where she was positioned as one of the top contenders. This has forced WWE to rethink the structure of the tournament and potentially alter its outcome, which could have a ripple effect on future storylines. Furthermore, there is growing speculation that WWE may introduce a Women's Intercontinental Championship, which would add another layer of complexity to the women's division. The addition of another title could help keep the division fresh, but it also raises questions about how to distribute television time and storylines effectively. Despite these setbacks, WWE has an opportunity to pivot and make the most of this situation. The company could use Jade's absence as a catalyst to elevate other talents in the women's division. By focusing on building new stars, creating fresh rivalries, and ensuring the prestige of the championships, WWE can continue to push the women's division forward. The introduction of a secondary title, like the Women's Intercontinental Championship, could help create new opportunities for women to shine and compete at a high level. But WWE must be cautious not to oversaturate the division with too many belts, which could dilute the value of each title. For Jade Cargill, this injury is undoubtedly a setback, but it is not the end of her journey in WWE. Fans are eager for her return, and when she does come back, it is likely that she will emerge as an even bigger star than before. Jade's rise to prominence has been impressive, and her resilience during this recovery period could endear her even more to the WWE universe. In the meantime, WWE must find creative solutions to navigate the situation, keep the women's division strong, and maintain the focus on its top stars. In the end, Jade Cargill's injury has forced WWE to rethink several key aspects of its programming, from Survivor Series to the Women's Tag Team Championships, to the United States Women's Championship Tournament. The company now faces the challenge of making the right decisions to ensure that the division remains strong and that fans continue to be invested in the women's division. While this is a difficult moment for WWE, it is also an opportunity to reshape the future of women's wrestling. With the talent and resources available to them, WWE has the ability to weather this storm and come out stronger on the other side. Jade's return, whenever it happens, will be a defining moment for WWE's ongoing evolution, and fans are eager to see what comes next.